It's January 28th, Finance Committee meeting. This meeting is being recorded. It's 5:30 p.m. All right. No public comment. There never is.
There never is.
Review department requests. I got PRFs and PCFs. Very short list today.
Yes, this is a nice one.
Yes, it is. It was nice to actually get them emailed because you get to review them
Yeah.
before.
Well, I'm very organized. If I end up doing too much and you guys are, just let me know, but I'd rather give it to you ahead of time and let us have a chance to
And
look
that's
at
fine,
Well,
yeah.
that's good.
Sometimes I get a chance to get into my emails, sometimes I don't. Today was a crazy day, so I did not get a
Yeah, I'm
chance
gonna try to do
look
it
at
early
them,
too. I wanna make sure that it just goes smoothly, because we all are busy.
You want to quickly review them if you like?
but- Sure. I saw the names, it's pretty much is all I saw.
Yeah, because I would usually try and get here, early, go through the mailbox and read them over, but it was nice getting them.
Well, I'm gonna just try to make it so
Ahead of time.
we are efficient, because I figured the budget season's gonna get busy enough. Yeah, you got the right person doing this part.
That's
Well,
good.
thank you, we appreciate that.
Yes,
No problem.
absolutely.
I'll get the rhythm, but just the first round of minutes, we're just.
And she could be the chair and the clerk.
Yeah, no.
Like that?
No.
She could be
no,
chair and clerk.
No. We will be just fine this way. John keeps asking me, "You seriously going to run for it?" And I said, yes. Just let me get in the rhythm. So on the administrative assistant for assessors, they had changed the date, and it was noted that it should be March 2019, that they're going to be looking to hire. They wrote March 2018, and so that came up in the meeting, and so Art Lawrence did confirm that it was supposed to be March this year.
Okay, but they did change it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There's such sticklers for that. A whole 3? Woo-hoo!
That's it.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, so do I hear a motion to approve?
Let's do the assessors first.
You tell them, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Just
I know.
Hey.
Yeah, we already started. We were on time today.
We're doing good.
I was on time.
We
We
heard
were
if
on
we
time.
finish
Did you
early
make the
enough.
copies to put in the mailbox?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll sit there and coordinate with you, because I brought some too, and it's like,
Okay.
if you're gonna do it, great.
Well, no, if you're gonna do it, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll work it out. We'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
We heard
Yeah,
it.
I'm used to helping him out so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's a great help.
Yeah.
I'm very organized.
We got started right on time because we heard if we finish early, Ed's going to take us out for supper at the JP's. So.
Well, speaking of which, I went by, it's closed down.
What is?
There's nobody there.
Oh, really?
It's dark.
Are they open on
You
Mondays?
know, I was about to say, I think they started closing on Mondays,
Yeah, they are
right?
open on Mondays.
Oh,
I was gonna say, good, don't have these
Okay.
around.
Which is, which is the smart thing to do, because Mondays is usually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went
Dead
by
days.
Saturday evening and it was
Was it?
very busy.
Good.
Yeah.
I went to Fasano's, but it was a very busy day. On my way to Fasano's, I noticed JP was very busy.
How about gift cards? Just stay open one
Are
of
you
those.
recording this?
Yes, I am. Hey, they can come to my house and, tell me what they think, I guess.
or they'll come to the next finance meeting.
But I
Public
will
comment?
say that JP's has been very good to me. I've had great meals there as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. All right, back on track.
Okay.
So I have here for the assessor's administrative assistant. We all had a chance to look at them. Do I get a motion to accept the PRF for the administrative assistant?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Which one do you have next?
Eric Larson?
Larson? Okay, this is for Eric Larson, part-time police officer. Completed field training and successfully passed exam. Do I hear a motion to accept Eric Larson's PCF?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
We're gonna make this so easy with minutes. Thank you.
Tell me whatever order you want them in.
Oh, no, with me and her doing the whole order
As
thing.
long as we stay consistent, she's just
Yep.
writing it
You
down.
wait till you see the next round. Next week, there's like 20.
Oh, really?
I saw what's on the
Oh,
PPV board for meeting for Thursday night. They actually asked to move the meeting up. I'm like, oh, come on. No jeopardy that night.
All right, this is for Timothy Glaze, part-time police officer. He's a former police officer, apparently, part-time police officer who left in good standing.
Yeah, he left for a full-time position in another town.
Okay. Motion to accept the PCF
So move.
for Timothy.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. All right, any old business we need to attend to?
That be the minutes? Or, I didn't know how- where to put
Minutes
them.
is further down, that's
Okay.
fine, wherever.
nope, the old business, I don't know if
I
there's
don't know
anything.
of any old
That's
business.
like if we had something from a previous meeting that we
Oh.
needed to get more information on or whatever,
Okay.
and we were going to continue on to the next meeting.
Correct.
So, but I don't think we had anything from the last meeting
Not that I know.
that anybody was supposed to be looking into.
New business, we have a budget letter from Ed to the Finance Committee. I know this was emailed to us as well, and I didn't know.
You're sharing, I can share. I didn't make extra copies of this one.
What is it?
Yeah.
So this is Ed explaining what we're going to have to do in the future.
Oh, okay.
It's coming up very quickly, actually. So Vicki will be getting us you said it's an Excel, right? If I
Yeah,
remember right.
I thought she already emailed them out, so if you didn't get one.
We didn't get
I
anything.
didn't see.
Unless it went to the other email.
I looked at that today.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
I can check in with Vicki if you want.
I'll get you that email address too, so you can look at it too, or anybody. It's mostly junk mail. That's the way it usually is, I guess, but. Ed, I don't know if you want to say anything about this or what's coming up. I know it's pretty self-explanatory in this letter, I guess,
mean,
but.
that's the kickoff part of the process that
Yeah.
I'm asking for the departments for their fiscal year 20 requests for February 1st. Becky did, I know, send out via email the Excel spreadsheets because I got mine for them to use in the budget process. And, you know, we haven't changed it a lot from previous years, except we're trying to get more information, more detailed information out of the department heads rather than just saying, oh, you know, 2% increase
Yep.
or whatever. And have also asked them to creatively, you know, think of ways that might be able to do things differently that might save money, and
Right,
also
that's
to
what
talk
you-
about you know, revenue possibilities on the other side of it.
And John, as far as the select board goes, I know it was a few months ago, we had asked for help kind of pushing the department heads to, you know, maybe be on time. I know Sharon, I haven't experienced, but I know Sharon.
Be on time with their budget request?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have as well.
Because they're always running.
Well, that's why Ed is going to be here, because he
Yeah.
meets with them on a weekly basis, department heads, is it?
Uh,
Well,
Usually every two, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, that would be Ed staying on top of that, which is good. I mean, we review the budgets every 2 weeks to see where they are as far as, you know, budget versus actual. And they've done real well, knock on wood.
It looks at, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was last year, I mean, it went right up to the week before the town
Yeah,
meeting, and
no.
it's just, that's just,
And we had those 2 budgets that were presented.
Yeah.
Which was a debacle.
yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can't let that happen this year.
no.
Right.
Do you go over that with them at their meetings, I assume?
Usually, yeah.
Okay.
I also usually will hound them once in a while, you know, along the ways too. If I know there are stragglers or whatever.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a reason not to submit the budget on time this year, because everybody's in place.
And then, on top of that, is there any time that, and being new to this, do we at all meet with department heads at all? Or
Yeah.
or they come to us, they come here?
You gotta tell me what you wanna do and we'll make it happen.
Okay, okay.
I mean,
Last year was the first year we did not meet with them. It was changed last year. The finance committee was almost pretty much just pushed out of the budget
Yeah,
process.
That was one of the issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
When would you typically meet with them, the Board of Selectmen? Do they come to you at the night meetings?
So we have a meeting prior to accepting the budget to go over it with them, but we're at the end of that process. It's, Ed goes through the whole process. You folks should be involved. And what we used to do is bring each department head in to meet with them on the finance committee. But that's kind of taken over, that's what Ed is doing now. You meet with them on a regular basis. But I would think between when you see the preliminary draft budget, then finance can see it. You guys together before it gets presented to the select board,
Right,
don't you?
right.
Yeah, I mean, you might want us to meet with all the department heads, you might want to meet with some, so just let me know what your preference is.
Okay.
I think that there's some that we really don't need to meet with, and those are your smaller
Yeah.
departments that really don't have much for a budget, the ones
Right.
that have the same every year and nothing really changes, there would really be no need to meet with them. It's your,
Unless they wanted to meet, I guess.
exactly,
I
yeah,
guess-
unless they want to
Yeah.
have some time to
Yeah.
come in
There's
and,
plenty of seats open.
We used to
Yeah.
put a couple nights aside just to do.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, when did that say they need to have theirs in by February 1st?
Yeah, which is the end of this week, right?
Yeah, which is Friday.
Yeah.
So we can start doing finance committee meetings and requesting the department heads to be there, asking if they could be there with their to present their budgets, and then we can go over it with them.
Okay. And can we get, I'd like to see it ahead of time so I can be,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
review it, questions and
Right.
whatever.
I was
so-
just going to say, you need to see it first.
Right, I need to see it.
Yeah.
Before you schedule those meetings.
right, before we schedule, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Because you may
fair.
go back and forth and have a couple rounds with these people first, right?
I may.
Yeah.
I might knock a few of them senseless, but
Remember, you're being taped.
They forgot about JP's comment.
There you go, that's correct.
Yeah, it's true though, because sometimes they submit a budget and you want to look at them, really? Really?
Some people try real hard to give you what is needed, others,
Yes.
they just pile on top and figure, well, you're gonna cut some out, and
yeah.
that's just normal.
Well, when I worked at Town of Southwick, when I'd go to finance committee meetings, they all had to go. They had them scheduled one after another meeting.
Right.
But that's years ago. I mean, since then, things, if they're level funding, we don't necessarily need to meet with them, but the ones that are, like the Council on Aging and stuff, I would assume, or some of them, we'd want to meet with.
Yeah, and we have a discrepancy between level funded and level service,
Service, yeah.
which obviously raises the costs from
Yeah.
one year over the next, so we had to define that, and
I'm going to learn a lot this year.
Yeah.
we all do every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I jumped in during budget season.
So, all right. Any other questions about this?
I didn't put this,
Okay.
I'm good there.
There's nothing really to act on. We just,
Now, Ed, would you be able to just let John know, once you know, okay, well, this department is all set with their budget, that way there, we could like start scheduling, having them come?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
can do like
that would be
department
great.
at a time. and-
Do you want to specify which department you want to see, or just you want to see them all?
I'd say let's see the budgets as they come in. If we have-
Yep, as they come, sure.
If
as
we don't
they
have
come
any
in.
questions, we
forward
don't
them
need
to
to
us.
see them, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, 'cause-
Emails nowadays makes it easy, and we'll pick which ones that
Yeah.
raise concerns.
Right, if there's concerns, we'll meet with them. If there's no concerns,
If they give you detailed information, then
Yeah.
they might not even have to.
Yeah, and like the smaller ones, if we want, we can have 2 and 3 come in at a time, you know? Because they're usually pretty quick.
okay. All right.
Can I ask that we move from 5B,
I was
move to 6,
I
go
was
through the
gonna
minutes?
do that.
And then go back?
Yeah, 'cause
I didn't put that in my order.
That one will be a little, the town warrant will probably take a
Yeah,
little
let's
bit
do
of
that.
time.
That's fine.
So if you want to just go through, I went through the minutes, I didn't see anything, I didn't have
Thank
any
you.
questions around it and anything, so I
I
didn't
was
know
I
if
was
you
fine
did.
with the minutes as well.
Okay.
So what was the date on that?
January 7th?
January 7th. A motion to approve the minutes on January 7th meeting.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I can't believe January's over. Can't
Yeah.
believe-
It's hard
Unanimous?
to believe.
That's a good month to get through.
Oh my God, it is.
Corner.
January is
Photo.
That's tough.
getting through the holidays, trying to get everything back on track, and it's like, oh.
So they're all set, so now these go over to you then, Ed. Perfect. I don't have to tell them then.
All right. Do we want to go back to the special, to the warrant now, or?
Are there any liaison reports?
As far as I know, the CPC was the only one,
I got one.
unless you have
Did-
something from Hampshire Regional.
Nope. I didn't get any information on
Okay.
any budget stuff. I know Francine was there, but I haven't heard if there was anything big going on in Hampshire Regional for budgets yet. I don't know if you guys heard anything.
Nope.
No. Nope, nope.
Anything for CPC?
Correct.
Nothing?
I'm sorry. No, there was no CPC meeting.
Okay.
It's actually coming up next week. Policies, procedure.
So they had those 3 PRFs and PCFs, and then the issue came up of the COA director. She put in for holiday pay for the week between Christmas and New Year's, and Jen Day, the treasurer, based on the ruling of the policies, would not let her have the pay without putting in vacation days before and after, because it was closed for a week. And so the PPP actually wrote a memo. Did they send it over to the Board of Selectmen yet? Sitting there
Yeah.
saying how they did not think
Yeah.
that she was entitled to get her 3 vacation days back based on it wasn't closed. It didn't go through the Board of Selectmen to be closed. They just closed it that week. I think they might have talked to you maybe, but they didn't go through the Board of
Or
Selectmen.
they just shut it down?
They shut it down. And so technically, she didn't follow the rules of working the day before and after the
Yeah,
holiday, so
right.
Jen had to follow the rules, and
So
You don't-
she wanted pay when it was shut down?
she wanted the holiday pay
The
because
holiday.
it was shut,
Oh, the
but she didn't want to have to use
holiday was in
vacation
between.
days, but
Right.
unfortunately, the policy says you have to have approved day before and after to get paid the holiday, and so Jen,
Yeah.
and so she lost 3 vacation days, and so the PPV determined that she's not entitled to get it back based on the Board of Selectmen did not give approval to shut down. So there's a memorandum going your way from Art, it probably did already.
It's interesting that she was just shut down and not,
The council agent shut it down, and so she was stuck in a spot when it came to pay.
interesting.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that came up.
I'll have to check into it, but if it's an official shutdown,
That's-
she
yeah.
worked the day before.
Yeah.
She worked the Thursday before,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, that's where it came out, but, so Jen was stuck in a spot because she
Seems
didn't,
like that was the workday prior to the holiday.
Yeah.
but,
It's
But was it
it's-
shut
it's
down
one-
properly?
It's one of those things that, excuse the expression, it's nitpicking.
Yeah.
I mean, Jen's right because she's following the black and white.
yeah.
Right.
However, they are now an advisory board to the Board of Selectmen, so it's like, yeah, I knew it was closing. I look at that senior center, even though it's attached to the building, is actually being separate. It doesn't operate at the same hours as the town hall itself does or whatever, so I had no problems with it, but, you know, in the future, if they want to
Change.
If they want to, yeah, in the
Is that
future.
on our- is that on
It's
our-
going to be coming up, yeah.
Put it on our agenda,
Yeah.
sure.
Can the board backtrack that and make the adjustment?
I imagine they could backtrack and just say, we have no problems with it, you know.
Yeah, I
The
think
town-
that's where we were with them,
Yeah,
yeah.
the town administrator knew about it, you know, we've given him the powers to, you know, or her to, you know, oversee,
Yeah.
you know, these departments
That's
or
not her
whatever. so-
fault.
Yeah.
She didn't have time to
what's-
put in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What 3 days vacation would she have lost?
Well, she had
The
to,
day before Christmas, the day after Christmas, to get paid for Christmas holiday, and the day before New Year's. And then she worked the day after New Year's, so she,
But she didn't lose those vacation days.
well, she had
just didn't use them.
she had to use her vacation days to get
to get
paid
the
the holiday.
holiday pay.
Oh, to pay the
To
holiday.
get paid
Right.
holiday, so she,
Right.
so I was asking
So she
Jen,
lost them in the sense that she had to use them.
she had to use them in
Right.
order to
To
get
get
paid
that
holiday.
check.
Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got them, but she
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Because originally she wasn't going to.
Yeah.
So she, okay, I get it.
Oh, okay.
She had to burn them to get paid for the holidays.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was about it for the PPV. That came up, and that was it, I think.
Okay. All right then. I guess we'll go back to 5B, to the special town meeting warrant review. So we'll go through these one by one, and,
Do you have another copy?
Oh, yeah, we got copies.
Yeah.
Right there, it should be a whole bunch.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because he made them, I made
Thank you.
them.
Oh, boy. So everybody's, I'm glad I didn't print any out.
Well, yeah, yeah, if you're gonna print them, just give me a heads up, otherwise I will bring, and actually, I'm gonna say to set, does Claudia pick them up later? Or should I sit there and drop them off to her, or have them available to her?
Oh, wait a minute, this is-
Claudia?
Yeah, because she's not here tonight.
I would assume she would grab them at the next one, or she,
I'll save them for her for the next meeting.
okay.
You got the warrant, and then,
And that's 2 amendments,
I didn't know if anybody wanted the
Okay.
actual wording of the 2
attachments, yeah.
attachments. That one just fell apart, that's the cover.
Yep, I got A and B here.
And what is that one?
Those are the
Those are
marijuana.
the 2 marijuana.
Okay.
So how does this work now? So do we take a vote on each one, or we just go through these?
If
You
they
can.
pertain, yeah, to finance.
If they
committee.
pertain to the finance committee,
You can make a recommendation either.
and it's
Or
usually
abstain.
listed on here, right?
So it starts at number 7, Article 7 is financial.
Okay.
Well, I mean, one could make the argument that Article 1 has a financial component
Okay.
to
I
it.
thought so as well, yeah.
Okay.
So again, do we need a motion and stuff to accept this, to put that?
Well, not accept, but if you could make a motion second and vote whether you recommend it, don't recommend it, or are taking a stance on it.
Okay.
And that'll come up, it'll be printed at the town meeting so people see that.
Right, yep.
And then you may have to get up to say why you support it, why you don't support it.
Okay.
That's usually the chair's job.
No problem.
And you tried passing this off to me.
We'll just get-
Clerk all the way.
No problem. All right, so number 1 is allowing a 3% tax on the sale. So, I don't know did you all have a chance to read it, or no? Are you familiar with this?
Familiar.
Familiar with it,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I see no problem with 3% tax, that's my opinion.
What is, like, Easthampton charging for a tax? Do we know what that number is?
No, do
I
you
have
know
no
what?
clue.
I believe they adopted the 3% also.
Yeah.
So we're reasonable.
It's when you get into the agreements with the businesses themselves that things have gone all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Northampton's still going strong.
Crazy, huh?
Kinsale's not too bad. Behind, because it's near where I go to work out. It's not as horrible. Yeah, I like how the Girl Scouts sell cookies right there, so.
After they buy the product.
Yeah.
People are standing in line, there's like 20 people in line, and I'm giggling as I'm driving by, because there are the Girl Scouts. I'm like, either you're gonna buy because you're feeling guilty, or you're gonna buy because you're buying munchies.
Yeah.
These kids,
Good of both.
Either way, the kids will.
just explain that to girls. Okay, by the way, they're going to buy them.
It's like, as soon as I'm done with this treat, I'm gonna need these treats. So-
And I'm gonna feel guilty because I bought these treats, so here, buy some more cookies, make me feel better. It's funny.
All right, so Article 1, do I hear a motion in either direction on this?
Motion to accept, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Or recommend.
Or recommend, rather.
Motion to recommend.
Okay,
Motion to recommend.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't think number 2 or 3 involves finance, correct?
No, that's bylaws.
4, I think street acceptance kind of does, or does it? I mean, we want the money, oh, we guess we get the money
Yeah,
anyway.
you got the money, yeah. It's
Okay,
just
so-
whether
so-
it meets the criteria. And Randall is really the key with that on that.
Yep. Zoning bylaws, so Article 5. 6, not. So Article 7 is, I know we got reviewed on this
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. We talked about this and where the money's coming from. It's all laid out too. Do I hear a motion to recommend or not recommend
So
Article
move to
7?
recommend?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous recommendation. Transfer, so Article 8.
8, 9, and 10 are, is
Those are
it
the
policy or
requirements, right?
bylaw? I still can't Is it policy or bylaw?
It's a policy that we brought
Okay,
before
it's
the
policy.
town meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's a bylaw, if you brought it before the town meeting.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
bylaw.
Yeah, so this follows the bylaw to proportion the free cash by a set percentage into capital stabilization, operating stabilization, and the OPEB fund.
Yeah.
Right, that was, what, a few years ago, Dave?
We did that a few years ago.
Yeah.
The select board, so that way we would know that these funds were being funded.
Yeah.
For these,
Right.
Because all of us were just using free cash or whatever.
Right.
And this doesn't take all of it.
No, it takes 75%.
75%,
Yeah.
okay.
If nobody has a problem with all of them, it's 8, 9, and 10, do we have a motion to accept, or to recommend, or not recommend 8, 9, and 10?
So moved to recommend 8, 9, 10.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Article 11 for funding, additional funding for the town hall building expense.
This was for the elevators and all those different things you brought up last meeting, right?
Like the HVAC system,
Yeah,
plumbing.
the two major ones
maintenance.
were repairs to the boiler and the one, well, actually, I shouldn't say one, we had one large expense to one of the compressor units and one little smaller expense to one of the air handler units for the air conditioning system. But we also had some other smaller unexpected expenses
Right, and these are,
this year.
this is stuff already spent.
This is already spent, and
Right.
basically this would revive that account at least to the point of being able to have enough money in it for what we're contracted through for the rest of the year, either in maintenance contracts or I'm trying to think of what else we might pay, like the monthly water cooler rental.
This will replenish the funds that were taken from other accounts,
Well, they were all taken from here, but
Yeah.
but not from free cash.
But not from, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we're replenishing it.
From the
to-
building expense account.
Right.
Do we know after we do these transfers, what our balance is left for free cash?
That's a question I'm thinking about. How much of the free cash does this encompass
Yeah.
once we're done? Have we done a count?
Well, I can tell you, let's see, we'll do a quick one, and it's going to be in the ballpark, but we had $305,000 of free cash. So, 5,000 and some change, I guess they just say 305. I know we had like 25% left, so yeah, it's 76,250. So,
76,250.
yeah,
So 8,000 comes out of that then?
yeah. So after this one, it would be 68,250.
Right.
Okay. You gotta keep the building running. And it's not being used to support a budget, an annual budget, I guess. So, motion to accept or not accept Article 11.
Recommend?
Recommend.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
It's
recommend.
okay.
So moved to recommend 11.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Yeah, it's one of those things that even though it's only 7 or 8 years since the building's been remodeled, systems are starting to need to be repaired and replaced. So it's like,
Nothing is built like it used to.
well, it's amazing because you go in and repair one of the valves on the automatic toilets, it's $800 to $900. You go and repair one of the automatic faucets, it's, $700. It's not cheap.
No.
Yeah, it ends up quick.
We've been in the building for 2.5 years, and we've already had to fix the server room, the air conditioning unit already. It's just all these little things in 2.5 years in a brand new building. So,
That's crazy.
yeah. You never know.
Article 12, funding for principal assessor certification stipend. That's something that we do every year, I believe, right?
Well, in this case, the principal assessor had not been certified when we put the budget
Okay,
together.
so it usually gets done before the...
Well, in this case, she hadn't been, so I mean, if she was, it would have been included.
Right.
Now she's certified, so it was after the budget was done, so, our bylaws call for compensating those, I think it's the town clerk, the accountant, the treasurer, and the principal assessor if they receive their certifications.
Is this a stipend every year, or is it going to the base?
No, it's a stipend every year. It does not go to the base. It's separate.
So they need to plan for it?
Yeah.
A motion to...
This doesn't touch free cash though, right? Because it's
No,
going
it's a
to
transfer.
Right, it's just
Right.
the transfer.
Right.
So one question, so we're taking it from the assistant's wage account?
Yeah.
Will that leave enough for the wage, the new assistant that's coming in, that we just sat there and put the PRF through?
Yes, because
Okay.
there hasn't been one
There,
for half a
it
year.
was vacated for
Okay,
a
so
while,
there's-
so there's some,
There's half a year's
yeah,
wages there.
still sitting there, so.
Perfect.
Motion to recommend or not recommend?
So moved to
Article
recommend 12.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Article 13 is funding for the police department server replacement. If I recall, this got bumped up a bit because I think the capital committee recommended adding in the virus software, was it?
Oh, a necessity.
It was 12 and change, and it went...
Right, it
Yeah,
was
it went
12,
up.
right, it was 12.8.
12/8, yeah.
12.8, and they bumped it up so that they could, I mean, it only makes sense to,
Is that the price installed, or just the server?
That's installed.
Oh, no, I
That's
can't complain about
installed,
that.
that's
everything.
the backup, and the last piece, which was that like last $1,800 or whatever, was also to update the antivirus software.
So who's doing this, Northeast IT?
Well, it's the quote is, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's who.
Well, their price seems reasonable, because I've just dealt with a server project where I was, and it was not that reasonable.
Because it's overtime, which means we'll have to obtain 3 quotes for it, or get it under state contract.
Here, don't do that.
and this is a transfer also. It's not motion to recommend or not recommend Article 13.
Motion to recommend 13, please.
I seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Funding for police chief vacation payout. To me, this is necessity, I mean, it's the law, pretty much.
Not a choice there.
Motion to recommend or not recommend Article 14.
Motion to recommend 14.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Additional funding for PEG access.
And this is one where we changed our budgeting procedures, because with what was in place, we were using receipts reserved for appropriation, which DOR only lets you appropriate what you have in and not what you have forecasted. So we'd always have,
So we're making up.
yeah, we'd have enough for like the first 2 quarters, and then you'd have to wait for the check to come in from charter, have a special town meeting or the annual town meeting, reappropriate, and then pay ECAT. So we changed it over to a budgetary line item this year, but when Vicki looked at the numbers, she only equated, in the past, because of the timing of what came in, we basically just appropriated 2 quarters in the past, or paid 2 quarters in the fiscal year. So the real cost is like $68,000 or $69,000. We only appropriated half of that, so this is the other half, and there's no net impact to the overall budget, because the other thing we're doing is we're bringing up the revenues from charter by the same amount. So there's no impact to the taxpayer.
Okay. I'd like to hear that.
Can we vote on making it better?
That would be
We
nice.
had Jen, what's her last name? The new ED in last week before, and we told her some of the issues. She's going to do a survey, reach out to people.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's time to
Come up
update.
Maple Street.
It's up to our, time to update our equipment in here as far as broadcasting goes anyway, so.
Yeah. Motion to, is there a motion to recommend or not recommend Article 15?
So moved to recommend 15.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Article 16, transfer for Sharps program. See the town will transfer $1,900 from Council of Government expense account and $1,000 from the annual audit expense to the Board of Health Sharps program. What, I guess I'm curious now, what is the Hampshire Council of Government
Those little
expense?
red containers that people can pick up with the sharps in.
I know what Sharps are, but...
No, the containers.
What's the
He's-
Hampshire
he's-
Council of Government Expenses? That's what he's
Right,
asking.
where's
What is that?
There's
Oh,
a
it's just a
transfer.
line item.
It's, yeah, every year we paid, I think, I forget what it is, $1,900, $2,000
Yeah.
to be a member of the Hampshire Council of Government.
Right.
For this particular year, and there's no guarantee it will go into next year, but Hampshire Council of Governments took so much negative flack in the media last year because of some of their programs and their financial situation, that they actually, their board of trustees, governors, whatever they call it, actually took a vote for fiscal year 19 not to charge any of the member communities the annual dues.
Oh, so
Nice.
So that's why it's
there to
there.
go
So we
somewhere
got a
else.
little bit of extra
Gotcha, okay,
month.
Right.
Okay.
yeah.
Like I say, be aware that might not be the case for
Next year.
next year,
Yeah, yeah.
but for right now,
Hey, it helps us
Yeah.
out right now, right?
Right.
Just another question, just sort of off topic, but on topic. Where are these throughout the town, I guess? Or
With
do
the
they?
sharps containers?
they're right down here.
Board of Health.
So you come to the,
right
if you
outside
want one, you come to the Board of Health,
the office. They're outside the door, you
Yeah.
can pick one up.
so like people that do insulin and stuff like that would bring one to their home and keep
Yeah.
it until they
Yeah.
turn it
Yeah.
in? Oh,
Even
okay.
Humira and stuff, they have needles now,
Yeah,
so there's...
diabetics,
Expensive.
whatever.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
family's used them in the past, it's a good little.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I didn't know. I
You
didn't-
bring them back and turn them in. And it's been,
I didn't know
it's
anything about
been a super successful program because it was budgeted at $3,000. They had spent all but $400 of that as of like December 25th
Yeah.
or whatever. So,
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Is there any expense to the user?
No.
Oh, that's good.
And that's why, because if there was, they wouldn't do it. They'd throw needles in the trash. and-
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good point. All right, motion to recommend or not recommend Article 16.
So moved to recommend 16?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Transfers for treasurer software supports, $583. So apparently there's more money in that account.
Yes.
What was the yearly fee from them? That-
At least 2483.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and.
Okay, I was
Well,
just curious.
1925.
2483, right?
Yeah, well,
So-
there's the 2480, so it was probably 2,500.
That's what I was thinking, it's probably
Yeah.
2,500, yeah.
Motion to recommend or not recommend Article 17.
So moved to recommend 17.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. It's the big one of the night. Oh,
And there's the rest of it.
there's the rest of it.
There's the rest of it.
Motion to recommend or not recommend Article 18.
I think we need a long discussion on that.
Yeah, right.
Really long.
Ed said JP's.
They're close. I'd say.
So moved to recommend 18.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Wait, so if they're closed and we're trying to get out of here so we can go to JP's, we should just drag it out and make them sit here.
See what you started, John.
Article 19, that's about, see, if we all vote, then he has to do it. It's 4 against 1. John, we'll include you.
Yeah, for this one, yeah. Because it is a financial one.
Article 19, funding to extend illness account for Council on Aging van driver.
So, the van driver is out on medical leave for a surgical procedure. Now, the van driver is eligible for our extended short-term disability program.
It's a pretty good program.
It's an excellent program.
It's too good.
Yeah, but I won't go there right now.
Yeah, I know, but we have an argument there, so.
Yeah. So, in this particular case, you've got a cost of about 75% of him not being here, of him being here, and if we did not cover that through a transfer, it would mean basically there's no other monies in the COA budget to pay for a temporary van driver to come in to fill in for that.
That was just on one of the meetings recently, right?
Yeah. But we want to make clear that the money isn't for the temporary van driver. This is $2,500 into an extended illness account for our regular van
For the
driver who's out.
For the current driver.
Which we have to pay because it's a benefit.
Right. Okay. Is there a motion to recommend Article 19, or not recommend?
So moved to recommend 19.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Article 20 is a transfer ambulance receipts to the ambulance operating account. It only makes sense to me. But, motion to recommend or not recommend Article 20.
So moved to recommend 20.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Article 21, funding for fire truck maintenance. To transfer $2,000 from fire department expenses to fire department truck maintenance account. Just simple transfer. Motion to recommend or not recommend 21.
Motion to recommend 21.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Article 22, funding for highway department for required MS-4 required work. This is, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is for the stormwater
Right.
management that we
Requirements.
have to, we
Right.
can't not do it.
We had,
We're tied into it.
we had actually taken about $8,500, the Board of Selectmen authorized Randall to get a consultant to help file our application to make us compliant by July 1st. Is it July 1st? I can't even remember the date now. No, it was probably after that. It might have been September 1st. So that was the first portion of that. So we were able to get the application filed and accepted by using some existing highway department funding accounts. And specifically, I think it came out of the road funding account, which drainage is part of, but,
Chapter 90?
well, not Chapter 90, that would
okay.
not have been eligible for this, but his regular, I think it's road maintenance account. But in addition to that, by June 30th of this year, there are requirements for us to do another $27,000.
This is a state mandated.
It's a
thing.
state mandated, so to stay compliant, we have to come up with $27,000 worth by, and do the work by June 30th. So for that large a portion, we're looking to transfer it from operating stabilization. And I will be clear is that we know that for at least one more, there'll probably be costs for this for an ongoing period of time. We do know for fiscal year 20 that there is a like amount between $30,000 and $35,000 that we're going to be required to do to stay in compliance also.
You know, this makes me think of during the budget process, we should have this specifically, a special line item under Highway Department budget to address MS4.
There should be.
Yeah.
Because that way, next year, we can identify and pull it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Otherwise, it's going to come out of stabilization again.
Well, no, they'll build it into the base budget the next year.
Oh,
if it's
right.
in the
Yeah.
base, yeah.
Right, no, if they don't, then it'll be right back, it'll be right back here again.
This is
Right.
2/3, right, the stabilization? 2/3 vote?
You're correct, 2/3 vote. Yeah, because it's coming out of a stabilization account.
Yeah.
To put it in, they've actually changed it through Muni Mod back to a majority vote.
Put it in? Oh,
Yeah.
That's okay, because
Yeah,
taking it out's the hard part.
yeah, exactly.
How much money is left in the operating stabilization? Is there a lot left in there?
There's still a decent amount. I knew that question was going to come up as soon as I saw this one, and I can't remember.
Yeah, you answered it at a recent meeting. If we had the financials in front of
Yeah.
us, we could see it.
Yeah.
My memory is, I think operating stabilization
As in these?
was up to like 200,000 or 300,000.
Yeah, it was in the hundreds of thousands, 200 or
Yeah.
300. It was the capital stabilization that was low.
Well, that was at 17, I think.
I don't think it's going
Would
to
it be on the
Is it-
revenue
is it
reports?
the
Would it have the
revenue
numbers in the back?
Yeah, sure. Oh, my
That was what
glasses.
the accountant provided last meeting.
Right.
Yeah. But one had 300,000, which was operating, the other one had, what did you say, about 17, 20,000?
Capital only had like 17 in it.
Yeah, which is not good.
No.
That's why we're replenishing it
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah, no, last year when we went through, we were like, oh boy, because we were really dwindling to
Yeah.
nothing.
Capital usually gets hit, I mean,
Yeah.
who's the liaison with the capital committee, anybody? No?
And there's no, right.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot in front of them.
There's only, well, there's really three of us, so, there's four of us, but, Claudia does her part.
So
Just,
need somebody to come forward to join us.
right. You
Is
just have
that
that
your
one
reputation
or
as
two
chair?
more.
or-
It could be. It could be.
Doesn't show up?
Yeah.
Thought it did. Huh?
I might have just known it off the top of my head from there.
Or it would be on the expense
It's just-
report? There's two of them.
I wouldn't be on the.
Nah, it should be on the expense
Okay.
report.
I-
I had probably just gone through it with Vicki and
We-
could still remember it at that point in time.
We should, operational and capital.
Here's my memory. My memory is that after transferring in that 106 and spending anything coming out of operating stabilization, I think there's like, there'll be 345,000 left at the end.
I'm gonna ask Vicki to put that on the reports.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
makes
that'd be nice
sense.
to have, yeah.
Could you email that to us tomorrow? If you get time to look at
I
the numbers?
probably won't be here most of tomorrow, but I can probably do it on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you get this week.
All right, is there a motion to accept or to recommend or not recommend Article 22?
So move to recommend 22.
Second.
mean, I think I'm going to, all in favor?
Aye.
I will say aye only because we kind of have to. I don't like where it's coming from, but,
I know, that's the only thing, but unfortunately, it's something that we have to do.
right. So it's.
It's an
unanimous.
unfunded mandate as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. Article 23, funding for health director.
The first part of it is a transfer from unemployment expense into the health director wage account.
Yeah. Why is it coming from unemployment expense?
Because we haven't spent much of what we
Oh,
have.
okay.
and
There's no
so
rhyme
it's-
or
so-
reason to some of these.
Well, I mean, there is. I can't say
To some
exactly. Basically, what Vicki and I tried to do was, as much as possible, to work within the budget numbers we already have. To basically try to show that, okay, we're not just trying to spend willy-nilly or whatever. We're trying to make ends meet the best way we can.
Right.
So the first part of it, I mean, the first part is if you got somebody, looking for something like Ian's looking for the server work or whatever, do you have anything available that you can transfer from your department? In their particular case, because they went to the advanced 911 system, taking cell phones over their calls this year, their communications 911 grant, they got additional monies for over what they used to have. So that's why that was available. So the first thing we look for is, okay, is there a possibility for an intra-departmental transfer? If not, rather than just going to free cash or someplace else, is there funding that we can identify someplace else from an interdepartmental transfer? And this was one of those ones that it's going to be controversial enough. The story behind it is the Board of Health basically asked under Massachusetts Pay Equity Act, which went into July 1st, is the health director's salary should be comparable to the building inspector's salary. So it took me a while to get there, and I finally came to the conclusion that while there are some statutory factors and requirements for the building inspector's salary, or building inspector's requirements and the salary that he or she gets, the health director's salary was probably, well, in my mind, they weren't totally equal, that they probably should have been more comparable than they were, which caused me an awful lot of work, because once I decided that, I had to do the analysis and make a recommendation on probably where it should fall. So I made that analysis, which came out to somewhere, if my memory serves me, probably about 87%. And there's also a difference between the building inspector gets paid salary, the health director gets paid hourly. I had to take that in. So that brought us to this point in time. That's where these monies are coming from. And like I said, I know it's going to be controversial enough. I wanted to try to see if we could find some monies, even if it was in someone else's budget, to transfer in rather than just going, like I say, whether it's free cash or whatever, which is the second part of this, which is Article 24, and that's operating stabilization for the balance of it. And of course, the other difference in the two is Article 23 is a majority vote. Article 24 is a 2/3 vote.
Okay, so then basically looking at these two, the health director is getting quite a bump in pay,
Yes, you're correct, because
which means their budget's going up next year, quite a bit.
correct, and just
Not necessarily.
and the other thing is, remember, all I've dealt with here is the pay equity issue. I have not dealt with, does the town need a health director? Does the town need a health director and the health agent? I have not
The
dealt with,
director.
does the health director position require 32 hours a week? or, you know, or any of that. So and all I've dealt with is the pay equity issue. Right now, her PCF, or I'll just say the health director's PCF says 32 hours a week. So these are what the calculations come up to.
So this isn't the person that we're splitting with Easthampton. This is
No.
That was conservation.
conservation.
And Worcester
Yeah.
Jerry, that's gone. This is
Jerry. Okay.
And again, the budget is the budget. As you go through the process, you can improve increases or level funded, or, you know, it's up to the finance committee, the select board to decide. We don't have to automatically throw X amount of dollars into a budget.
Right. My take is, I'm going to throw this out there, just speaking openly as, I have no problem with 23 because it's coming from the unemployment account. I do have a problem with Article 24 coming from the stabilization, operating stabilization.
Well, I have a question.
That's just my take.
How much is in the unemployment expense account? And are we wiping it out with this?
No, there was 10 grand in, and I think we spent all of like $500 or $600 to this point in time.
Okay.
Good question, though.
So what happens if someone gets laid off? Is that what that account covers?
That's what that account covers, right?
We have to be fined another account somewhere, which is not the best way to do it, of course, but
I mean, right now, we don't foresee that.
I'm trying to hire people, right?
Yeah,
Lay 'em off, not lay 'em off.
Not lay 'em off, exactly.
So you said that she's hourly, she's not salary?
The position is hourly, correct.
Okay, and what is she working at this time?
32 hours a week is what her PCF calls for.
Is this
Okay,
the-
but does she work more than is she on a continuous basis of putting in for overtime? Do we know?
well,
Because this would increase
Yeah.
overtime.
you see it in the warrants, and there's no,
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you might see a week where she's got
One-
34
But
hours
but
in.
it's not but it's not
yeah.
consistent like every week.
No.
It's
No.
overtime.
Right.
Is this the one who wants their office closed on Thursdays?
Yes.
Where would that be in here?
And I'll also clarify that is that that's what the Board of Health.
the end of the
voted to
health
It's
director.
closed
the
on
office.
Thursday.
So she can shut the doors on Thursdays?
But you're not gonna.
Yeah,
No,
so she's
it's about
how many
open
hours
Monday,
they-
Tuesday,
No,
Wednesday,
I
Friday.
just want to see where they are
No,
as far as...
No, not
Tuesday,
Friday.
Wednesday.
Under health.
She's in
Oh, that's right, Friday's
She's
not.
in the office on Thursdays, but the door's
Looking at
But the door's
expense,
closed,
right.
so she can get
Expense.
Work done.
paperwork and stuff like that.
supposed.
Yeah.
That is the rationale behind it, correct.
Because I know that was a
think you
complaint
passed
at
it by
one
now.
point
Yeah, I
of
must have.
Very quickly.
not having time to
Sure,
get paperwork
sure.
done.
Was there just some paperwork coming through so she can get an assistant or something? Was it her? I can't remember.
Not that I'm aware of.
I can't remember anymore.
What's looking for, Jenny?
Health department, protect public works and facilities, human services,
Yeah.
here, yeah, health director.
So health director's salary, is that 57% right
And that's about
now? So
where it should
It's
be.
about
Yeah,
right, because it
so-
started July 1st.
that's a good gauge of where
Yeah.
Yeah.
where she's supposed to be.
Mhm.
But there's another line for another employee in there.
Right, that's at 31% right now. Health agent wages.
So with that in mind, let me ask the question, why don't we take it from that line?
Because there's no guarantee of what
And it's
a
only,
health agent would be required for
And-
the
and the
rest of the
original-
unit. That one goes like this.
right,
There's still
And that-
20% below where it should be.
but it's, and that original budget is only 11,600 also,
So total?
total, and 31% is gone already.
So this 5,000, she's going up $5,000?
It's going up more than that.
She's going
So
up 20. or,
15,000.
Oh, down below next, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
You gotta look at
Yeah,
both
that's why
lines.
I was questioning. So she's going up almost 16.
Like I said, I think I could, in my opinion, I could vote for 23, but I don't think I could vote for 24 just because of where it's coming from.
All right, so-
But
Let's do 23.
I would say we'll do 23, then we'll have more discussion on 24.
sounds good.
Okay.
Is there a motion to recommend or not recommend Article 23.
So move to recommend 23.
I'll second.
Unanimous, or all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
No layoffs in it for a little bit.
So Article 24.
And just, FYI, just because you don't recommend it doesn't mean it's not, it's going to go to the floor.
The townspeople are going to vote.
And the people will
Yeah.
vote, yeah.
Right, it's just our
What you
opinion.
feel.
Yeah, it's just our
Right.
departments or our committee's
Yeah.
Right.
opinion.
Yep.
and-
Right, and you two can vote and it overrules and still gonna
Yeah.
recommend, so however, that's just my opinion. Do we need more discussion on Article 24?
My only question would be, if this does get denied, where else would you go for the money for that?
I mean, if it gets denied at the town meeting floor,
Yeah.
then there's no money. It doesn't go away.
It just doesn't, okay.
Yeah.
You don't try to find it anywhere else, it's just dead in the water?
That's
I
the
may try
point.
to find it, but you
Yeah.
can't prove it
I-
till
But
next
I
time.
can't- but I can't do
We can't do anything until
it's written
May,
tonight.
right?
Right.
Well, there might be another special town meeting coming up for other property,
Oh.
but, yeah, if it doesn't,
But,
yeah.
uh, town meeting.
Yeah, it would have to go with
Right.
town meeting,
Okay.
correct.
And this is operating stabilization, which is 2/3 again.
Right, and it's nothing personal,
No, it's not.
it's
No,
just
it's
where it's
just
coming
where it's
from.
coming from.
And it should be
Yeah.
taken from from the stabilization account to fund.
To pay a salary.
To pay an annual salary, really.
Right.
Would we do it for anyone else? Has there, in the past year or so, has the operating stabilization been used for salaries?
But not more of the, not for salaries, but we use it all the time. but
We use it all the time, and I
Yeah.
can't, the only one I can think of would have been, and I can't tell you where it came from now, would have been
Town?
Tom's.
But we put
Yeah.
that in the budget, didn't we? You got to pass that to town meeting, and it was in
And
the,
But that's what this is doing too, but I don't know what the source
Yeah, but
was.
I don't believe it was.
I don't think it was from there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Right, so this would have to get put in the budget next year,
Next year.
Right,
and then it wouldn't have to come from here, so,
Or they'd have to cut elsewhere on their budget. to fund
Right.
this.
right, right.
It's not like the Board of Health has that much room in theirs.
No. Any more discussion? Any questions? Is there a motion to recommend or not recommend Article 24? please?
So move to not recommend 24.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. It's nothing personal.
Unanimous?
Yeah, just from the funds where they're coming from.
Right. Article 25 is, are they going to pass that one over?
yes, that's going to be, take no action.
That's what I thought, okay.
Yeah.
While the DOR has come back and said it is allowed, we can't do it, it means changing all those tables and stuff. So there's a number of
Okay.
steps that really have to be done that we didn't have time to really do and do right.
Okay, that's good. I think that would be controversial as well. It might take some time out of the meeting. But, so we're going to pass over 25. Article 26 is transferring CPC funds for the library historical records online access. I have no problem with that. It's coming out of CPC,
Yeah, it's
which
coming
it's a good use for
Just
that
for
money.
use.
Yep.
It's a good use for that money. Is there a motion to recommend or not recommend Article 26?
So move to recommend 26.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. And Article 27, replacement of East Street Bridge. Long overdue.
Yeah, right?
What this is looking to get 1.6,
Borrow 1.6 million.
borrow $1.6 million from a debt exclusion. If we don't do the 1.6, you're going to lose $1 million grant
Potential for it, yeah.
Right, well, we still have the grant, we still have the $1 million grant?
Until June 30th.
Yeah.
So June 30th, okay. And so either if we don't accept, so if we don't get the 1.6, we don't accept the grant,
We don't get the grant.
or we don't get the
We
grant?
can still get the grant, but we're going to have to ask for an extension anyway. So it's
Yeah.
going to go
Right.
by. So we're hoping we
Yeah.
get an extension, and this will supplement it so we can get the darn bridge.
Right,
If we don't get the 1.6 million, we're definitely going to have to turn back the $1 million grant. And then at that point, 3 years, 4 years from now, it means 2.6 million plus inflation. that-
Exactly,
that
yeah.
The town is going to have to fund itself.
Yeah.
it's only, gonna be right, it's going to be a lot worse.
It's an opportunity we don't want to pass up.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right. That's my opinion as well.
Yeah.
I will be voting for this override, which I don't remember like doing, but I think it's
For
smart to
debt
do.
exclusion, is there a certain percentage that,
Well, it's a borrowing, so even if it wasn't a debt exclusion, it's 2/3.
still 2/3?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the debt exclusion, the other piece that goes on to the 2/3 is it now has to also go to pass a ballot vote.
Okay.
Well, we get the 1 million and just build a one-lane
Walkway.
bridge.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a motion to accept, to recommend or not recommend Article 27?
So move to recommend 27.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous?
I'm going to tell you, it's easy taking minutes, you and you like that. Hopefully.
That's why we kind of, the first meeting, we set that up, and so I just... And the one we didn't go through, that was, I still did it on my own though, so I didn't just follow her lead.
That's going to come out. Trying to see what other free cash accounts we spent.
I didn't see any other.
I didn't see any.
There's the $2,500 from the extended illness for the
Oh,
CFO
right.
driver. And then the unpaid bills.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot
I'm just
to-
making sure that I didn't miss anything else.
There's still plenty left in there.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, there should still be a
let's
good
see.
amount.
60,000 or
There's
so.
65,750 less, I'll say 1,300.
63 and change.
So there's like 64,450
Yep.
still.
That's what I have, yep. 64,450 remaining in free cash.
I like your, whatever sound.
Oh, yeah, the little,
Where'd you
like the
put
little
that?
water pump.
This is not mine, I borrowed it from Ed.
Right, but no, you'll take the one back from Family Business Center or something,
He
huh?
gave me this one because he said it matched well.
See, Ira at the Family Business Center would give them out, they had them at a table, and that's why I'm looking at it going, what's from there?
Family Business Center where?
Up Pioneer Valley, so they have their meetings at Log Cabin.
Okay, yeah.
All right, any other business that can't wait till next meeting?
I don't know of any.
I don't know of any.
So we need to schedule a meeting before the special town meeting. We're gonna have a lot of PCFs and PRFs.
Right,
Based on what I'm seeing?
We can do that at the town meeting. Well,
There's gonna be like 20.
Prior to the town meeting.
I will get them to you, I have the meeting Thursday night. I will scan and upload them and send them all off to everybody so you guys can look
Okay.
at them ahead.
That'd be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, so that way we can make it efficient.
We'll be fully prepared, yep.
It's only a week to, one day
Yeah,
away,
it's-
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
so I think,
It's next Tuesday.
I mean, we can always meet at, I mean, if we meet at 5:30 at the Norris School, we'll have plenty of time to get it done.
Gives us an hour and a half.
No, the only issue is.
Oh, we have to get them to
meets
you.
6 o'clock until a little before 7, because then we got to go into, so
Yeah.
give us enough time.
So do we want to meet at 5 then? That way there we can get them all done and signed off and then run them over to them for 6?
Well,
You want me to be kind to all of you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going up to
Is-
JP?
Yeah, I think 90% of those are also under
Resident.
emergency, which
Oh,
takes it 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So.
It doesn't look horrid. If we just sit there and very efficient and we look at them ahead of time, we could probably look
If you
through them
do
pretty
it at 5
fast.
o'clock on Tuesday, I can make it at 5.
Yeah, because the Board of Selectmen won't meet again until the 19th, so.
Okay. Okay, so 5 o'clock on the 5th? Is it?
that's
Sound
fine
good?
with me.
Mhm.
Are we going to just go right into the cafeteria? That's what we
That's
normally
fine with me.
did?
I'm fine
I
with
mean, okay.
They might not be set up at 5 o'clock, I don't know.
They should be.
Okay.
Yeah, he's usually good with once the school is done and kids are all gone, he's usually pretty good with getting in there and
Okay, so I'll post
getting
this.
set up.
I will post the agenda officially on Friday. I'll have it ready to go. That way I can see what's going on Thursday night.
That's fine. And then do we have to have 2 postings for the town, for our normal meeting and the town meeting? Or we don't have one for the town meeting?
We don't have one for the town meeting, because what we will do is we'll start our meeting at 5, and then we will end our meeting when the town meeting is complete.
Complete, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Yeah, I can just recess it, and then at the end of the town meeting,
Right.
vote to adjourn or do
Right,
it business.
that's
yeah.
what we normally did. We would vote to adjourn at the end of the town meeting in case there was anything we needed to talk about when town meeting was done.
Right.
Oh, good. Okay.
But otherwise it'd be an open meeting violation, I'm assuming, so.
Okay.
Right, you can recess, grab a bite to eat or something, whatever. and come back. Okay. I'm fine with 5 PM on the 5th then. Motion? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Well, that was efficient.